Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We wanted to talk to you a little bit this evening about a matter that we discussed with you earlier today. And I'm joined this evening by Mickey Esposito and Donna Gardner with our Transportation and Utilities Department. Earlier today, we announced that flooding had indeed damaged the Lincoln well fields along the Platte River, and that we needed the community to voluntarily restrict their water use. In the hours since that time, the situation has deteriorated. We have lost pressure from the wellfield pumps, therefore losing water flow to the treatment plant. We quickly isolated the problem and are now producing water again. We are still hopeful that we can produce 25 million gallons of water per day, but that it is a tenuous situation. We will need to take additional steps to ensure enough water for the community over the coming days. At this point, conditions are changing quickly. It cannot be assured that enough water will be produced to avoid a total depletion of our water reserves over the next few days. We cannot take unreasonable risks. It is imperative that Lincoln residents and businesses preserve water for drinking and to protect health. All other water usages need to be reduced. That's why I must order the implementation of mandatory water restrictions through an emergency declaration that we are issuing tonight. It will include actions such as residents will now be mandated to reduce water usage by 50%. Examples of how that could be done would be curtailing showers, doing laundry less frequently, for example, or cooking foods that require less water for preparation, or other things citizens might think to do. Businesses are mandated to reduce their water usage by 25%. They will have to make tough decisions to meet this standard. Hospitals and care facilities are exempted from the declaration at this time. Outdoor water use is prohibited. Don't water your lawn, don't wash your car, don't wash mud off the sidewalks. Commercial car washes are mandated to shut down until further notice. Golf courses will be prohibited from watering the grass using Lincoln's water supplies. All restaurants and institutional food service must begin using non-washable disposable settings. All bars and liquor serving establishments must use single-service glasses. These actions will reduce the need to wash dishes. We will need everyone to help safeguard our community supplies. And we know this is difficult, and we are very grateful for everybody's efforts. As I said earlier today, it's important to note that our drinking water is safe. It has not been contaminated by flooding. I want to repeat that. It has not been contaminated by flooding. If that situation changes, we will notify the public immediately. Mandatory restrictions are not the only action that we're taking to solve the challenge. We are taking every precaution to ensure an adequate supply of water is available for drinking and sanitation. The city has been in contact with the Nebraska Emergency Management Agency and the governor's office on this matter. Lincoln water officials and staff continue to work day and night to stabilize the situation. Efforts are being made to restore electricity to water wells that have no power. Water mains are being examined for damage and repairs implemented. We are working as quickly as possible to restore our normal water supply levels. Much of that depends on how quickly floodwaters recede. My office will continue to closely monitor the situation, review whether our water use recedes, and determine on an hourly basis whether we will need to continue with these mandatory restrictions. If more or less needs to be done to conserve water, we will ask the community to take the appropriate additional steps as needed. The next few days will be difficult. We will learn a lot about ourselves as a community. I am confident that we will find Lincoln residents can once again arise to a difficult situation and meet the challenge. I have said it before, and I will say it again. We have faced tough economic times during the Great National Recession. We rallied, made tough choices as a community, and we persevered. When hit with devastating droughts, our residents stepped up, conserved water, and again we met the challenge. Now we have the toughest challenge yet, and we will face it with the same perseverance with which we have always met our challenges. We are all in this together, and together we will get the job done as quickly as possible. There you have it. Questions?
So exactly how much water is left in the reserve?
Donna, you can handle that best, I think.
So obviously we have a number of reservoirs throughout town. And of course we've got water coming in now from the treatment plant, about 25, we're hoping to get 25 million gallons a day coming in there. And in the tanks themselves, they can hold about 100 million gallons, but we've probably depleted some of that today because we have not had production of water, so we're probably hovering somewhere in the 60 to 70 million gallon range.
How much is used per day normally?
In the winter, we average between 30 and 35 million gallons per day, just normal usage.
So how long, if this stays the way it is, how long, I mean, how many days do we have under these?
If we can curtail our drinking water, what we're using in Lincoln to match what we're producing, we can go indefinitely that way. I mean, we will be able to maintain just fine. But the problem is, as Mayor said, it's tenuous. We want to make sure that people are taking action, and that's, I believe, why Mayor has made this declaration tonight.
Do any of you know the last time you were at a 50% mandatory usage?
It was probably the drought of 2012 when we were in that kind of condition. But I do want to, again, emphasize that what we've seen at the Platte River, the historic flooding you've heard of all over the state, it certainly is, it's a historic event. It's never happened before that we've seen water coming down the Platte the way we have.
Is the sandbagging operations, is that still happening?
The sandbagging around the well has stopped. We have a kind of a V-shaped area in the front now in front that trying just to keep any additional water from coming up on the around that front well on the island. There was some attempt to use those sandbags to stop the breach up by Thomas Lakes, but it was unsuccessful today.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you again.
The die is cast.